Okay, I just want to say, sometimes you get a fancy wheel like this, it's real hard to find a brake caliper, so I just made my own. I went to Send Cut Send, I got stainless steel. I went to a little machine shop online, and they have a bolt distance calculator or whatever. You put 3 holes, it's 70 millimeters to each one, gives you like 80.829 diameter or something like that, and it fits perfectly. So I'll just deburr it a little bit and put it on there. And all right, so we're gonna do the front brake disc. Like I said, I got this from Send Cut Send. So here I have I think it's inch and 3/8 collar. Usually it's stamped on there, but what do you want for $15? So anyways, this goes on here. Okay, usually I will sand off these little edges here so it doesn't dig into stuff and it clamps with the entire clamp instead of just the corners. And there we go. So I definitely want the hose pointing up with this one, so they get kind of mounted strangely. I do it like this. Let's see here. Oops, camera. That slides right in there. Yeah, we can probably do it right there, just like that, with the hose going straight up. And then we'll just weld a little piece of steel, like right here, and should be good to go. Let's fab that up. Okay, so we got our little piece of metal cut, drilled, mount it to the brake caliper like this. And like I said in the other video, these are floating calipers. I don't know if I mentioned the word floating or not, but so what happens, you just kind of get them snug. See, they move, okay? But you don't want to leave it loose like that, but it allows you to move this out and then get it set where it needs to be. So I'm going to put that right over there. Okay. I definitely don't want to hit these bolts. That's not going to work. Well, luckily I found some other bolts that fit that are bow head. So this should solve all of our problems here. One thing I can't stress enough when reassembling your bike is the use of blue Loctite. Do not use the red unless you do not want to ever get it out. Once it dries and sets, the red is permanent. The blue is the one you want. Luckily, I found some of these bolts. Should save the day. Oh, look out for that one. Oh, wait. Almost forgot the Loctite. I'll always use an impact for disassembly, but never for reassembly, because when you strip some of this stuff out, you screw yourself. But Allen keys by hand does suck. So now, let's try this again. Put this on. And we are clear. Clear as light beer. Just like that. So now we'll prep this piece for the welding. I'm gonna grind some fresh metal so that we can weld it. So I'm gonna do some dumb shit with the ground here while I hold this brake. Fucking motherfucker. There. Now, again, no fucking breathe. I need an assistant. I'm getting no ground in it. Alright. Water. I don't want to melt the damn caliper, so I keep a little water around to cool stuff down. Okay, so now I take it all apart and then really weld it. Well, we got her all painted. I didn't show this part because we had some fun. I forgot to notch the frame, so I ended up having to paint it all over again. So it took a while, that's why it hasn't been episode 4 yet. So that'll take 24 hours to dry. And then we'll put that sucker back in it right there and get her buttoned up. So this is as far as we've gotten. We'll have to excuse the beeps. They are working on the internet cable or something like that. So we're here. I did get the brake mounted up. I really think these brakes are a game changer, but we're gonna see. They're just so discreet. And this is that disc that I had made from Send Cut Send. It cost me 35 bucks. Which, yeah, it's pricey, but when you can't find anything, you gotta wait 6 weeks to get one from China. You get it in a few days with them. I want to show you something real quick. Let's see this arm right here. I want to talk about that. When I make my next bike, which I think I'm still going to try the aluminum one, I have a little clamp that goes in the end of this. And what you'll do is you'll loosen these and they'll move anywhere. And that'll hold my pipes where I want them. Because I don't really have an assistant. So, man, my dogs are going crazy. I don't know if we're going to use a pulse pump. I mean, it's kind of... You're not supposed to use them, I guess. Which is... Jesus, some fucking hoses are not helping at all. What the fuck? There you go. I'm not going to do the pulse pump because the instructions say not to use it with one. And when I rode the red bike last, it ran good for about 20 minutes, was great. And then it started just pouring gasoline out of the float bowl area. So I think it just had too much pressure. Started running like crap. Probably stuck the float bowl open or something. Who knows? So we're going to do like they say and just hope that the pressure or the gravity of the gas is enough to push it here. But I fear that, you know, once you get riding a while and the gas gets lower, there's not enough to suck it up there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do prefer a pulse pump because they're just awesome. So come through here. Look at that. Nice and clean though. Like I said, I'm using this high pressure line. I did soak some in gasoline for a few days. It didn't do anything. So it'd be good to go. This is 3/8, so it fit over this nipple tight. I think some of the reason I was getting the suction problems is because I was using 1/4 inch and there was a slight air leak in here. So I think that's a big problem. There's just so many variables in this stuff. It's ridiculous. So I like to really get these straight. So I'll just find something that's flat. And if it lays flat against them both, this one is out. Just a contair. Contair is an old form of measurement. Contair. Let's try this then. There you go. That is perfectly lined up. Hopefully I didn't cut it too damn long, looks like I did. Cut a contair off. All right, we are getting there. We just got to do a lot of zip tying, things like that. Well, we are closing her down, getting to the end. I just got to mount this caliper. Button up a couple extra things, make sure everything's tight and good to go in the right spot. I gotta put the chain on yet. When I had to notch the frame after I painted, that's why the paint looks kind of weird right here. The heat from the welder. Anyways, it warped the frame, so just make sure you do all your welding and everything first, because this is under tension right now, and that's not ideal. But that's because I welded in these channels here. I don't know if you can see it. But I notched the frame right there to give me more room for the chain. And that, of course, warps some frame with the heat, which it'll warp every time unless it's in a jig or secured by something. So, but small mistake. Everything else went beautifully. This is a badass looking bike. I don't care who you are. Big old big booty Judy ass on a. Look at that. Big daddy chrome. Woo! That's right. All right, so we got the chain on. This is, you know, kind of up higher than I would normally like, but this chain will stretch like crazy. So what'll happen is when we push this back down, we'll be able to pull one out, use a half link, and tighten it way back up. But we try to break this chain in first. Well, that's about it, except for my seat. My seat guy had a heart attack, I found out today, which is freaking tragic. So I don't know if I'm going to get my seat. I hear he's okay, but, you know, Jesus, he just had like his third heart attack or something, what I hear. So he's probably not too keen on getting right back to work. So I'm stuck with a finished bike again and no seat. I mean, I still got to put this cover on, which no big deal, but I got no seat. So if anybody out there wants to take on building this seat, let me know. So here's my 3D printed torque converter cover that I make. I just painted it to match the white, because my white is more of a cream than a white. So I just paint it with a automotive spray paint, and we'll stick that on tomorrow.